People used to always say, oh, it's better to give than receive. And I was like, let me help you with that. You know, give to me.
Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
Good morning, everyone. As you can see, we're here at the W2. I was going to call you all on my way in, but I ended up being on the phone and all that jazz. It's going to be a long day for me. It is Thursday, December 7th. And I know I said I was doing Vlogmas, but sometimes I get caught up in what I edit out and what I leave in. But my plan is to deliver a video Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so far, I'm on course for that. So I'm feeling kind of good. It's a lot of work. I don't know that I've seen anyone doing Vlogmas who also has a full-time job. And my job is full-time. So today I'll be here, of course, all day doing my regular schmegular stuff. And then later on this evening, we have a family fun night event. And I don't even have to work the event, but I volunteered to teach line dancing because we have a cultural competency committee. And as part of that, we were like, we need to introduce cultures and stuff. And for me, I mean, I don't care if you've been to the most elite and poshest of weddings, darling. If it was a black wedding, it was probably some line dancing. And then right on down to like just the last minute grilling session in somebody's backyard, chances are pretty good somebody's gonna turn on a line dancing tune if there's a decent crowd for it, right? So I was like, that just seems like something that we could do. And so sure enough, I done volunteered my little happy tail, and I had to go to the class just to learn the line dance. How you sign up for something you don't even know yourself yet? Makes sense of that. But that's what I did, and hopefully it's well received. I don't know what the turnout will be, but my plan is to teach it live, and then while I'm teaching it live, I'll use my camera to record it so that people can just see it for the next event because, excuse me, I need a sip. The event is from like 6 to 7:30, and I'm only going to do the 6 to 6:30 portion. So people who couldn't make the first half of it should be able to watch the video in the latter half. It's working out in my mind. Will I really be able to do it? I don't know. I might have to do it during my planning period, unless I have yet another meeting. We'll see. But anywho, that's what's going on. I need to get caught up on our notes and our emails and all the good things. And let's see, is there anything else? Oh, I did put out my video yesterday. Yeah, okay. These days is running together already. All I know is this countdown to winter break, baby. Bet I know the last day I'm supposed to come to work. If I don't know another day, I'm gonna know that one. I'm gonna know the first day of my break. Yes, ma'am, I am. So anyway, I put out that video, and I was being more honest and candid than I expected to be. I don't know that it's anything people kind of haven't heard in passing. Oh, teachers are burned out. Teachers are burned out. You say they burned out. Oh, okay, they might be burned out. People have heard that part, but I think and I hope that I was a little more detailed as to the whys, because it really isn't about the kids. People who go into this profession have a passion for the kids already. So anyway, I was a bit more candid about my feelings and things regarding all of that, and I hope it's well received and understood. It's just, like I said, it's already a hypercritical profession, and I know, name a person who hasn't gone to school. And so often, because people have gone to school, they think it makes them an expert on what all is happening in those schools, and you get even more criticism as if you don't have it already within the profession. You get it outside of the profession as well. And, be me not understood. Teaching is a hard profession, and I don't know a lot of people who have done it as long as I've done it, who are still doing it and still committed to it and all of that. I just don't. And according to the records, there aren't many people who are going to do it as long as I'm doing it. So anyway, I hope you understood where I was coming from and received it well. That being said, I'm going to get to work and get some stuff together, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Good morning, everyone. Long time no see. It's been a while. Vlogmas, I don't need to tell you, Vlogmas didn't go as planned. Anywho, I'm dressed pretty casually. As you can see, we're having a spirit week and all of that stuff, and today is comfy day, like wear a hoodie. And so this is my hoodie of choice. For me to wear graphic tees and stuff like that, I guess I rarely do it, but typically if I'm doing it, it needs to have a message or something, and I like this message. Freedom should be free. If you're not familiar with the Bell Project, it's basically a charity where you donate money so that people who otherwise can't afford it are able to bail themselves out. I mean, the United States is supposed to be, or our justice system is based on the principle that people are innocent until proven guilty, but a lot of times in our country, it's better to be guilty and rich than innocent and poor, because chances are if you're innocent and poor, you're going to be found guilty anyway. So I like contributing to this. I mean, if you haven't heard of it, I'm not telling you how and where to spend your money, but if you're looking for a charity and things like that before the end of the year and tax write-offs and things like that, I think this is a good one so far. Anywho, also you may be familiar with Khalif Broward, I think is his name, could be Broadard. I'm not even sure. Bless my heart, it's been a while. So you know what that tells me? It tells me I need to watch that documentary again on Netflix. Things like that just kind of inspire me to help my community a little bit more and things like that. And you know what else I find? Once upon a time, because I haven't always wanted to be as helpful, but I feel like the more I help and the more purpose my life has, the happier it genuinely is. Because I very much used to have an attitude of, shoot, I'm trying to make it my doggone self. What I look like trying to help the next one, and what I look like, you know what I mean? And I still hear a lot of people saying that. So as much as I can encourage you to try to help someone else, I promise you it's not a hustle. I don't get anything out of it. But it's just one of those things that really does make you feel better. And here we are, it's almost Christmas time, and people used to always say, oh, it's better to give than receive. And I was like, let me help you with that, give to me. But I really do find a joy in thinking about what it is another person likes, thinking about what's probably going to light up their face and make them smile and all of those things, and then seeing their reaction to kindness or good gifts that I give them. So there's a lot to that. If you already know about it, let me know. But if you don't, I promise you, it's the truth. Anywho, let me start getting myself together, because the next bell that rings will be the one that tells me I gotta welcome the kids in. But I wanted to welcome you guys in, and thank you so much for clicking onto my channel. If you're not already done so, please subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you're thinking and all the YouTube things. But anyway, this was just my opener. I'm gonna get busy, and I'll see you in a minute. Good morning, everyone. Good Friday morning. Let's be clear. It's the last Friday before the break. I love you children, America. I really do. But I'm ready for this break. You understand me? Oh my goodness. I am so ready. And I just want to get into the fact that there's going to be a lot of relaxation. My plans are to start prepping myself for the new calendar year. I feel like I always have to differentiate, because a lot of times, especially once school starts, as I'm talking to my coworkers and things like that, when we talk about the end of the year, we mean May. But I'm referring to personal Kymberly, not teacher Kymberly. Just getting ready for the new year. I had to have a little talk with myself, and I was like, self, you kind of let yourself go. And I don't know what the deal is. Like, once upon a time, I used to diligently do my hair. And I know certainly for the past maybe year and a half-ish, I've been wearing a bun like underwear every day. Sometimes washed. Well, let's be clear, the drawers is always washed. But I'm saying that the hair bun, the bun was sometimes washed, wash my hair, and then go right back into a bun. Like, I wouldn't even style it when I would wash it. Like, what? The most I would do is set it, because I'm just used to setting it, because that's an easy way for it to dry. If I let it air dry, then a lot of times I have to deal with putting it back up in the direction of a bun. Whereas if I just set it, it smoothly comes up, boom, wrap it in a bun, and I'm on my way. But I have gotten really lazy. And when I started thinking back, I was like, when did I become so lazy about my appearance? And I think it was after the panini. I feel like that might have been when. Because, yeah, I was doing my hair before that. Like I said, I just sat and I had that little chat with myself, and I thought, girl, get back to your old self. Get it together. I was even doing my nails then consistently. I've never been a go and get my nails done at the nail salon, but I would do them myself, and people would think I had gotten them from the nail salon. Now, I'm not even sure I still have the same touch, but I feel like something need to get did with these. And yeah, so that's what I plan to do over the break. I also need to get a wax. Like when I say I've let everything kind of go-ish, I won't say that there's a little lamb down there, but I will say that we need to do some shepherding. We're just gonna call it that. We need to, get it together. And that is what I plan on doing during the break. And I know a lot of people do that before they go on a vacation or something. But for me, it's kind of I need to get back into familiar with myself. I've been living now in my new home for about a year-ish. It'll be a year in January. And I looked around and I thought, uh-oh, wait, you're starting to accumulate a couple, two, three things you don't need. Nothing massive. I'm not a massive collector, but I just feel like when you do a little bit here, a little bit there, as time moves on and wears on, you suddenly look around and you're like, what the heck happened? So I don't want that to be me. I want to do some cleaning and things like that, and then catch up with some friends and all of that. I'll save taking a trip for both my birthday and spring break, and they kind of butt up to each other. So it'll be a bit of a back-to-back trip for me. But for now, yeah, I'll stay here. As I hear me saying that out loud, I almost want to change my mind, but I really do just want to kind of get it together. Oh, y'all. Yeah, I was going to say one of those things would be when you're ushering into a new year, the things you want to improve upon. One might be speech or articulation and things like that. Because here's what I see a lot of, and this I felt bad this week that I even had to pause about it, but let me share some of the why. So one of the things I like to encourage my kids to do is speak. If they read a book, let's say they're doing a book report, for example. Tell me about the book. What do you know about it? And if, they're looking around and they're not connecting, then I tell them, hey, as you're speaking to an audience, you need to make direct eye contact, engage with them, ask questions and things like that. So I talk about that and articulation. Okay, so rewind the footage to years ago of teaching. They used to have dollar amounts on words, like they would call one type of word a $10 word, another would be like a $5 word or something like that. I never really got into it because A, I ain't got time to try to remember this, and I knew the trend wasn't gonna last, and B, I didn't want to. So remember, I'm one of the people, I know about what I need to do, what's required of me, what's requested, and then what's highly requested. I'm not even sure that was highly requested. They might have said it was required, but it was requested to me. And so I just didn't teach that. But what I have taught is I've told my kids that there are school words. There are words that you use at school for sure. These are preferable words to the language that you should have at this stage and age. Like say for example in kindergarten, you might learn your pluses. 1 + 1 is da 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 da. And in grade 1, you may start adding. By second grade, you're coming up with a sum. And so I talk to them about that, and they're, yeah, they understand that. So then I also talk about how as you get older, your language should develop and get older and mature with you. You shouldn't say all of the same things that your kindergarten brother or sister says. So anywho, merge that conversation, and I just call it school talk. This is just school talk. And I have a whole thing where I explain to my kids that when I get on the phone, I don't use school talk. Hey girl, okay girl. And I had a whole pretending of being on the phone, and the kids got a good laugh out of it. And they understood the message. Well, the kids understood. However, had one go home and they were like, yeah, I'm just saying this because it's school words. My teacher told me that I should stand up and I should make eye contact and stuff like that. How about I got a note from one of the parents telling me that they didn't appreciate me saying that how their child talks is not appropriate for school. Ma'am, that's not what I said. That's not even what I said at all. It felt like they were just looking for something. And so I was like, yeah, no, there is language that's appropriate for school versus what's appropriate for home. You can hear it in me, you can do whatever. And they distinctly let me know that they just don't believe in code switching and da-da-da-da. And it was a thing. It was a short-lived thing because, I'm not going to engage in the foolery for a long time. And I stood on it still, and I still stand on it because one of the things I find, too, as adults, I've seen women at functions. Like, specifically, I went to this Arthur event where a woman wanted to ask the author a couple of questions and things like that. So the author was a person who wrote some street literature, and the woman wanted to ask a question. What was deceptive, though, is that which the author wrote, the street language and all of that, was not how the author actually spoke in real life. The author was very articulate and all of those things, thought-provoking, whatever. So the lady stands up and she wants to ask a question and talk, and she's holding the mic, and you start to see her tremble, and she and every time she would say she would catch herself and she would flinch, and I thought, yeah, none of my kids are ever going to feel that way. I want them to have the gift of gab. I want them to feel like when they walk into any given room, they own it. They belong there. They're able to communicate easily there. They're confident there and things like that. And I just feel as a teacher, the responsibility is mine to teach them that language. Like I can't have you pass through my class and I haven't helped you develop a higher learning, a higher vocabulary and things like that. But anyway, as I was talking about my glow up, I'm supposed to be straightening my desk, y'all. But as I'm talking about doing my own glow up and things like that, I don't feel that for me, articulation is necessary. I had to make sure there are no names on the back that you all could see. But I don't feel that speaking and articulation are important goals for me, but I do feel that they are important goals. And I was just so struck by that parent. I mean, I understand the argument of code switching, but I just don't know how it pertains to children. I'm not saying you need to speak this way because there's a certain person present. I'm saying you need to develop this language so that wherever you go in life, you're going to be able to speak regardless of what that person looks like. The street author that I'm talking about was not a peach person. Still very articulate, did not write in that tone and voice, although if they want to, they can pick up the pen and do it anyway. And the thing is, it's very much a use it or lose it. If you don't use it at all, you will lose the ability to do so. I went to a suburban school later in life. I mean, I grew up in the hood. I ain't gonna play like I didn't. But later in life, I went where there were more articulate people and all of those things. And I'm thankful that I was able to converse with them without any problem. And yet, if I went back to where I grew up, I could go and conversate with them without any problem. You know what I mean? So, is conversate an actual word? No, but it's what I grew up on. I'm not mad at that. I don't really consider that code switching or have a problem with that. So, and nor do I take judgment for it. So if you're thinking that you're going to bother, don't bother. But that's just kind of, I think, how life goes. I think even with peach people, we talk so much in our own community about code switching, but even with peach people, there's just certain language you use in church, and there's certain language you use on the streets. There's certain language you use at the clubhouse. There's certain language you use, when you're doing business deals and things like that on a golf course. So I just don't fully understand that. To me, that is a limiting belief. I think when you limit your language and your vernacular to just a specific type, you are limiting yourself in that same way. Why wouldn't you want to broaden your horizons and things like that? That was weird when I got that. communication from the parent. But hey, ultimately, baby, it's your child, your way, okay? Who am I? At the end of the day, who am I? Just their teacher. Okay, so I got a lot of stuff cleaned off of my desk, thank goodness. But I'm really curious about that whole code switching thing. Like, I don't know that your opinions will absolutely change my mind, but I am really wondering, how do you all feel about the idea of me saying there's school language and there's home language? I mean, I definitely have mine. So I guess it kind of leads to the whole code switching debate, which I don't even know why that's a big deal. Like, at all. Anywho, if you're wondering why I'm wearing my little hat here, we're still doing Spirit Week, and I'm just wearing an old snap plaid shirt underneath and some red jeans with black boots. For anyone who wants to know, I know when I watch videos and someone's sitting down, I'm kind of like, what are they wearing underneath? If I'm doing a sit-down video, I'll be honest with you, it's probably pajamas. Yeah. No matter what the top is, if I got makeup on or my hair in a cute bun, we're gonna call it a cute bun. No, I'm probably wearing pajamas, but yeah, I want to do something with my hair. I know that I haven't been doing my hair a whole lot, and I don't really have the time to invest in my hair. Here's another thing that's key. I need to get my butt right back into the regime of working out because I feel much more lethargic. Where'd that come from? Excuse me. I feel much more lethargic, and I know that I've regained my weight. Clothes fit a little bit tighter. I'm not big on weighing myself, but with those things being the case, that's not what I want to carry into 24. So I need to establish a good habit of working out and feeling good in my clothes again. And I want to do that before I decide what clothes and things I want to throw out, because I don't want to throw out something because I haven't worn it, and I haven't worn it because it doesn't fit. You know what I mean? So once it fits, I'll determine again if I really want to keep it or not. And that just makes more sense to me. So I need to get back into that, drinking more water, chlorophyll, the whole nine. Like, I do really, really good for maybe a couple of weeks. I want to say I've read somewhere that it takes 27 days to form a habit or something like that. And Lord knows, I have never, ever worked out 27 consecutive days. And I don't think you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to rest. But for me, my idea of working out is really going on walks. Like, I absolutely love walks more than anything. And as it gets cold here, I'm able to brave that cold and walk anyway. Like, at first, it's kind of jolting. So you got to make sure you go to the bathroom before you go out on a cold walk, because there's something about the cold. I don't know if it's scientific or not, but something about that cold weather, when it hits you, baby, you got to go to the bathroom. So I make sure I do that, and then I head on out and start going for my walk. And as I get moving and all of that, I warm up so much anyway that I almost want to peel layers off. The problem is, though, I'm wearing a hat when I first start, and so I don't want to start sweating out my hair and then having to redo it, and all that is too much. I'm not going to reset my hair every time I go for a walk, because I can literally walk every day. In fact, at some points when I was working actively on losing weight, I was walking twice a day. I go for a walk in the morning and again in the evening, and I loved it. I really did. Sometimes I've always got a book on my phone of some sort. Sometimes self-help, and sometimes it's just junk food for the mind. You know, a little love novel or something like that. But I've always got a book. But a lot of times I would find that even as I was walking in the morning, no book. I could just enjoy silence. I live in an area kind of near a forest, so I would see deer, rabbits, little Bambis running by and things like that, and just have those talks with myself and things like that, and I enjoyed it. That's also another reason, in part, why I wasn't as committed to doing my hair, because it got easier to just kind of gel it and then put it in a top knot. But I don't even want to do that anymore. Even if it's gelled, swooped, no. I want to be grown about my business and wear my hair and just, or somebody's hair. That's probably what it's going to be, because I said something before, and I was not kidding. Y'all see me coming through with these 24 inches. Don't say not near word to me. Just accept it, baby. So, yeah, I need to get back to that. Like, there's something in me that's saying, get it together. You know, I just had that walk by a mirror, and I was like, I don't think I'm a bad looking woman by any stretch of the imagination, but I do feel like I could stand to zhuzh it up a little bit, and that's what I'm going to do. It's weird too, because I know at some point a lot of women take pride in being a woman. Oh, I don't need to do all that, and I don't need to whatever, and da da da, and that's okay if you don't. Don't really need to hear your opinions on that. But it's the weirdest thing. I just think, let me just get on the criticism of women. I feel that there are these weird criticisms, like just how I was just talking about how I want to just shut up a bit. There are sometimes women who are like, "Oh, I don't need to do all that. I'm just me. I'm just natural. I'm just da da," and that's fine. Don't even get me started on that natural hair community, because I was natural for years, but I really just don't have the time to do my hair like that. I have 4C hair, and so it took a lot of time and investment for me to do my hair, and I feel no shame in deciding that, you know what, I'm just going to relax it now. And even when I was natural, I didn't understand the shaming of women who wore their hair in relaxers. Like, that's just why. So often, like in a previous video, I said that educators are, even though well-intentioned, educators are a lot of times the problems for teachers. I feel women are our greatest problem for other women. It's that criticism that's just weird. But anyway, I'm not understanding the women who, oh, I'm just natural, oh, I just do this, that. If you do that, that's great. But if you see a woman who feels the need to zhuzh it up, I don't care if there are women who are plumping their lips, plumping their butts, whatever they're doing. Hey, whatever it takes for them to feel good about themselves, let them have it. It's none of your business what someone else needs to do. That's my opinion. It's none of my business what someone else needs to do to feel better about themselves. Have I seen people like that? That's kind of extreme, or whatever. Yep, but I've said the same thing about, that's pretty thin, or you know what I mean? I can see a thing and keep it to myself. That's the other thing. When I say I've said, whatever, I can say it out loud. It's just weird how people feel obligated to crush on someone else and crush someone else's spirit. I just, whatever. But anyway, I really just wanted to check in with you all, say hello before I get started. I've got emails galore, messages, notes, and all that stuff to get started on. But hello again. And I plan on picking the camera up again. I didn't pick it back up yesterday. When I tell you I was exhausted yesterday, oh my gosh. I went to bed at like 7 something. Solidly went to bed. No melatonin, no wine needed, went to bed. Because sometimes I'm watching the clock, waiting, can I take my melatonin yet? I didn't care. I pulled the covers back, I got in and went to bed. So I feel refreshed. In fact, I came a little bit early today. I want to clean up some things, toss out some stuff, because I also want to come back in January with it looking better. Next week isn't even a full week. Did I mention that today is the last Friday before the break? It is. Sure enough is. So next week we've got a couple of days, one of them being a half day, and then our vacation starts, baby. So us is ready for that. And by us, I definitely mean me. So anyway, let me get to work, and I will talk to you later.